It's Q&A time. Let's start with the ones you guys sent me on Patreon, and then we'll move on to Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. Do you plan on making more ASMR videos in the future? Well, I got mixed responses from you guys. Either you loved it or you hated it, because it's to be expected that some people absolutely despise ASMR. I'm not one of those. I love ASMR, so I would love to make ASMR videos for you if you want. What was the weirdest dream that you can remember? I remember dreaming that I was in my house and I looked at my dog, Mungie, and for some reason I just knew she was evil incarnate. So I just felt the urge to kill her. Not the urge, but I felt like I had to kill her to save the world. So I took her by her back legs and I started absolutely smashing her against the window. Any near future tour plans? We're in the process of making the original album, and the first couple of singles are gonna come out soon. And our ultimate goal, is to start touring with the new album once it comes out. What truly terrifies you to the point of going into flight or fight mode, and why? Also, love you. Love you too. Fight or flight? What is it? Flight or flight?
Flight or fight?
Flight or fight. I think I'm more the freeze type of scared human. But I would say I do have a fear of flying, unfortunately. And I fucking hate that about myself, because for so many years I used to love flying until I experienced like the worst turbulence. It wasn't even the worst turbulence, but it was enough to shake me to my core. I remember feeling dizzy for a couple of days after I landed. So that really, really messed me up. But I would just be in my chair like stiff and frozen. What got you into writing your own material? I was always very much into movies and storytelling through movies. And when I got into music a little bit later in life, I just felt like that was like a non-brainer. I didn't even think about it. To me, it was the only and the most obvious choice. If you're into music, you're in it to make it your own. What has been the greatest inspiration to the original music you have written? I guess it's a amalgamation of things. Definitely after I experienced some very hard days, that made that much easier for me to write songs, because I had something to write about. My life got interesting after my mom passed away. So usually I've been writing a lot about death and realizing that you're a human being and that you're getting old and that you're gonna die. But my ultimate favorite song that I've written is the one about consumerism, which is very, very interesting. What is your go-to comfort food? Lately, I've been loving... How do you pronounce this? Is it pho? Pho? Fuck. Pho is a Vietnamese dish. It's like noodles with soup and lots of veggies and lots of herbs like mint and parsley. I've been craving it every single day of my life. What advice would you give to people who deal with stress, anxiety, and depression, and also overthink a lot during school or at home? So I am no stranger to stress, anxiety, and depression, especially after my mom passed away. It really messed up with my head, so those things became a very real part of my day-to-day life. I tried an array of different things. Definitely therapy, exercise was a big thing for me. Acupuncture, meditation was also a big thing. Yoga. I get messages like this all the time from people who watch my channel. I don't feel very well equipped to answer this, so that's why I partnered with BetterHelp for this video, to give you guys a cool service that I think would be very useful. So let me tell you a little bit about them. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message your therapist therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/Violet Orlandi. That's betterhelp.com/Violet Orlandi. And I've also linked them below in the description. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video. Por que você deu uma sumida do YouTube? Bom, a gente deu uma sumida porque deu muito problema a construção do nosso estúdio de gravação, mas também porque agora a gente tá se focando muito mais na qualidade dos vídeos e não na quantidade. Demorou muito tempo pra falar essa frase. Do you believe in God? No. I wonder, what is the one thing you hate most about fans that can make you freak out? Like, what quirks are annoying to you? When it comes to fans, there is one thing that really bothers me, but it's something that happens online. Only online. It's whenever people don't listen to me. When I make a video or I make a post asking something and people will do something completely different. I don't know, even when I asked you guys to send me questions for this Q&A, so many people just sent names of songs because they wanted me to cover them. So it doesn't feel like a conversation. It just feels like people are shouting at me. It doesn't feel like a human interaction. If I ask you to send me a question and you say, Beyonce, I'm like, that's not what I asked for. What's your all-time favorite movie? Or at least your top 5 favorite movies. Doesn't have to be in a specific order. Well, thank God it doesn't have to be in a specific order, otherwise I would skip that question. Let's see. The Lighthouse, Fellowship of the Ring, Eraserhead, Suspiria 2018, and you know what? Mean Girls. Can you tell us more on what has gone wrong the last few months and how we can help? So if you follow us on Patreon, you know that for the better part of the last year, Rick and I have been building a recording studio that we wanted to use it for ourselves and to potential clients that could rent it from us. But unfortunately, the people who we hired to build this space built it in a way that doesn't really work, and the delay of the delivery of the space was so huge that we went many months without being able to work because we didn't have a space to record. But now that we have this space, we realize that there is a lot of sound coming inside. We can hear the street from where we are, which sucks. So yeah, that's what we've been dealing with lately, and how you can help. If you're not already, please consider joining our Patreon, because that is the best way, hands down, to support our music, our studio space, our covers, our original music, and our music videos, which have been getting crazier and crazier by the day. And yeah, we also post lots of BTS pictures and videos on there, polls, updates. There's so much stuff on there. So consider joining if you can. If not, just spread the word about our work, like if we're Jesus Christ reincarnate. Tell the people. Watch our videos. Hi Violet, are you going to be doing any more live streams? I miss hanging out with you. Also, I love your new channel picture. Thank you. I don't know. It's open. I think we're just gonna get settled in this space first. Focus on the covers and the album so we can get our groove back, and then we'll reassess. I'll let you guys know. Is there any chance of some new original songs coming out soon? Yes! What's your favorite song you've ever done, whether it's a cover or original? This includes collabs. My favorite song that I've ever done is single number 3 of the original album. What question do you hate getting asked the most? What's your favorite cover that you've done? What are you doing in your original life? In your original life? What are you doing in your original life? My God, what am I saying original life for? What are you doing in your usual life? What hobbies do you have? Are you doing any sort of sport? My usual life is very simple. I cook, I work, I watch movies with my husband. And no sports, but I do go to the gym 3 times a week. What is your favorite Rick and Morty season, and why is it your favorite? Now, just like albums, I'm not a big season person. I'm more of an episode person. So I can tell you what my 2 favorite Rick and Morty episodes are. I don't even know the names though. It's the Show Me What You Got.
Get Shrifty.
Get Shrifty. My second favorite is the Tiny Planet one. The Wedding Squanchers, exactly. The Tiny Planet scene is so goddamn beautiful. Like, they had no business making that Tiny Planet so beautiful for that fucking show.
Well, they're both from season 2, so maybe that's your favorite season.
What else is in season 2?
Oh, my favorite one is in there, which is the one with Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Where he gets shot?
Totally.
Oh, yes. Okay, so we found out here today, right now. Season 2 is my favorite one. Hypothetically, if you were to steal an adult giraffe from a zoo, what would be your plan? Just to dress like a tiger in the middle of the night. And free the animals! What question would you like people to ask you, but they never do? You know what? I would love people to ask me about the Kardashians. People don't know this about me, but I'm not ashamed to say I love them. Recently, I've gone through a feminine renaissance. Like, in my life, I would reject everything that was stereotypically female, like Pink, romantic movies, Twilight, Kardashians. But now I'm like, I love this. I love Twilight, and I love watching the Kardashians. I'm sure every song you've written is personal to some degree, but which song would you say represents the most intimate glimpse of you? I don't know, man. I'm gonna say this again. I think it's single number 3. What inspires you most in life? Movies. If you could have one of your songs/covers featured in a film or a TV series, what song and film/TV series would it be? Single number 3, we showed it to friends of ours, and according to Rick, everyone says that that song sounds like an opening of a TV series. You know what? I have an answer for that. Robert Eggers is producing a new movie about Nosferatu. Can you imagine if we got a song of ours into that movie? Any chances that your old originals, like This Room Will Be the Death of Me, Poltergeist, etc., will be re-recorded or would be put in Spotify? Maybe. How long does it take to film one of the newer high production videos, in general from idea till end product? So if we take into consideration the last video we posted, Man That You Fear by Marilyn Manson, that took 4 months to make. We started production in early February and we posted like last week. But some other videos are way quicker to make, like Closer or Owner of a Lonely Heart. Those were very quick to make, not necessarily simple, especially Owner of a Lonely Heart. That was the worst post-filming that I've ever experienced. I've never been so fucking cold and uncomfortable. Is She Won't Live a dead story, or could it have a future? I don't think it has a future. Like, it was a very short-lived project, but now we're focusing our efforts into this huge task, which is the original album and whatever is gonna come with it, which is gonna be, hopefully, a lot. What made you decide to cover Marilyn Manson again on your channel again? I love when you were still in your bedroom and covering him. I can't seem to find those covers anymore. So I did make some of my previous Marilyn Manson videos public again. You can go back and check them out. Not all of them, because I have many, and many of them I think are just shit. So I made public the ones that I think are very acceptable. My decision to start covering him again and start being public about my support of his music comes from the fact that I just don't care. Like, I had to accept the fact that his music has been in my life for the longest time. He was my very first introduction to metal music, and it means the world to me, and nothing is gonna erase that. And the bottom line as well is that we just don't know what the fuck happened. Nobody does. There hasn't even been a trial yet. We don't know. But nothing can erase all the years that I carried his music with me. So I'm just expressing my love for his work. Favorite fiction book you don't see talked about enough? AKA, please recommend a book you like but don't hear recommended enough. I don't see anyone talking about The Girls, and I think it's a phenomenal book. And you know what? I've also never seen anyone recommending The Exorcist, and it's a pretty damn good read. You know what's even better than reading The Exorcist? It's downloading the audiobook with the original author's voice, because he's like a very old man with the deepest voice, and it's like so crackly. And I would also recommend The Exorcist because the very first single that we're gonna put out from the original album is a song called Only Holy Water that I wrote based on The Exorcist and Father Karras. Where do you get the blood from for your videos? It depends on our mood and what we're using the blood for. Like sometimes we make it with honey and food coloring, but sometimes we get it from a goat. What's your favorite sad song? I don't know if it's my favorite, but the one that I can think of now that I definitely don't hear people talking about enough is Pennsylvania Furnace by Lingua Ignota. Talk about a sad song. Me and the dog, we die together. It's the first line of the song, just so you know. Did you get your studio issues resolved, and how is the album coming along? The studio issues have not been resolved yet. We're on it though, but the most important thing is that we're already actively using the space. We come here almost every day to do all of our recordings and most of our filmings as well. Most of our filmings. The best part of our day has been knowing that we actually have this space that is ours and we can use it whenever we want. And how is the album coming along? We have 3 songs that are finished. It's the 3 first singles that we're gonna release, like a professional musician that we are. The reason why the album took so long to make, is taking so long to make, is because we decided to first focus a lot of our energy into the covers so we could get lots of covers done so that we have it in our back pocket to have time to work solely on the original album. Are you going to go back to a regular upload schedule, or should we expect more of a sporadic schedule like it has been lately? Missed the weekly Violet drop, but I understand that burnout is a thing and don't blame you for taking a break. Well, first things first, our plan for the upload schedule for the channel is indeed to be more sporadic, just because we want to focus a lot more on quality over quantity. So we are uploading steadily, just not weekly. And you talked about burnout, but I haven't experienced burnout from YouTube or anything, and it hasn't been the reason why we are not uploading weekly anymore. It's just because we were dealing with the building of the studio and we didn't have a place to work in, and now we're much more free to upload whenever we feel like the video is good enough to be put out. What are your likes and dislikes of focusing on the high production value videos? Well, the likes is that the videos that we actually put out are things that I'm extremely proud of, and now whenever the original artist finds that video for some reason, I feel at peace knowing that I'm actually proud of the thing that we made, and that is something that I like to see out in the world. And the coolest thing happened the other day, on the same day that we posted the music video for Man That You Fear by Marilyn Manson. He DM'd me on Instagram. He actually DM'd me on Instagram and said, "Thank you, that's amazing, great work." And the dislikes about it, it's just that, I don't know, it's just harder to make and it takes longer and it takes more out of you because the amount of energy that you put into these things is unsurmountable. That's difficult, but it's also nicer because the more work you put into something, the more pride you feel at the end. I don't know. What's your advice for anyone who wants to become a musician and particularly a singer? Just do it. To quote Shia LaBeouf, just do it. There is no escaping practice. Watch your favorite musicians and your favorite singers. Try to imitate them. Try to imitate as many different people as possible just so you like stretch your vocal muscles as much as you can. And then hone in on your own identity and just keep fucking practicing like every fucking day. Every day. Like What's your favorite scary movie? The third one. Yes, Scary Movie 3 is the best. Favorite B horror movie? Scary Movie 3. No seu show em setembro, o repertório contará com músicas autorais também? A song that you hate / dislike. What's it called? When your legs don't work like they used to before.
Thinking Out Loud.
Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. Worst fucking thing that exists in the world. For some reason, every time we go in like a technology store to buy, I don't know, like a Hoover, a vacuum cleaner. Thinking Out Loud, the music video is playing on every single TV set. What is your most irrational What is your most irrational My God, it's 1:30 in the morning. What is your most irrational / silliest fear? So because we're at the studio most of the days until late at night, and we also rent a room downstairs for like a storage space, we have to go up and down the stairs a lot, and at a time where there's nobody else in the building, so everything is dark. So I found out that I'm actually terrified of going down the stairs, specifically down the stairs when it's dark. Because boy oh boy, that's when my mind goes wild. I start picturing every single Japanese ghost girl at the bottom of the stairs. Who are some musicians you want to work with? So many. I would love to work with Marilyn Manson. I would also love to work with Mothika. I would love to work with Richie Kotzen, like my childhood dream. What else? So many people. Steve Vai. I'd love to work with Steve Vai. He looks like a fun dude. Is there a moment from a horror movie that gave you a fear you never had before? Yes, it's Final Destination. I'm not sure which one. But the tanning bed scene, I'm pretty sure that installed a fear in many, many people of tanning beds. I've never felt the need to go into a tanning bed, but especially after that movie. No, thank you. Favorite drink in Snake. I'm just going to totally ignore the fact that he probably meant to say favorite drink and snack, and I'm going to answer Snake. My favorite drink is probably the cocktail that Rick made us during a live stream. It's called the Pickleback. No other drink has ever surpassed that for me. We're going to find the recipe and I'm going to share it again so you guys can make it at home because it's the most delicious and unique taste ever. And my favorite snake is the bamboo snake. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, but this is what it looks like. Isn't it the most adorable thing you've ever seen? Do you have a daily vocal warm-up routine? If so, what does it include? Alright, those were all the questions that we selected. I feel like I've answered probably 150 questions.
153.
100... You heard it here. 153. It's what now? 2 in the fucking morning and I'm hallucinating. I'm so sleepy. Thank you again, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video. Thank you for watching. If you watched the video up until this point, leave a comment that says third single in the comments down below to prove that you were here until the end.
Peace.
Peace. Peace among worlds.